Hello, this is Right Side Trader. Today is June 12th, 2025, and it's a trade review. I'm doing a trade review on the SPX trade. It's working again. This is all for educational purposes only, no trade recommendation, because as we all know, trading is risky. You can lose money at trading, so please check with your financial advisor. Please check with your significant other, and make sure trading is something that is suitable for you. Yep, this is a virtual trade. This is not a real trade. This is me training my mind, me being ready for whatever may happen. And today was one of those things where something was happening, and this is what it's all about for me. I need to know, okay, if I see something like this happening, what should I do? And the thing is, based on what I had been doing in the past and based on what I've ran into in the past, I said I didn't want to take no more than $1 loss on one of these trades. So I started trying to get out of this trade because it looked like it was going to trend and it was going to go to my strike that I had sold on the call side. So, and if it's going to trend like that, I need to also look at my other position. Well, if it was live, I'm looking at my other position, see if how hard is it going to hit me in all this one trade, and also I want to see where else can I put on a trade to actually make back some of the money that I've lost on this particular trade. And that's what I did. And then right now I'm trying to, in this virtual trade thing, I'm trying to do this all with this one product and all. So I was looking at it, and that's what I kind of went through today, and I'm willing to share today what I did. You know, no trade recommendation here, just giving you an idea of some of the things that I look at and some of the things that I do, well, what I'm planning on doing with this particular trade when I see it look like it may be getting into trouble. And because it's not a trade that I plan on holding all day. Number one, I have an entry time that I'm sticking with my entry time somewhere between 9:30 and 9:35. It's ideal for me. My exit time, it should be out of this trade before 11 o'clock p.m. and these all are Eastern times. That's what's ideal for me. And but let's go ahead and take a quick look at what actually happened. Let me see. I'm sharing my screen. We're looking at the options. Let's look at the chart first. I like looking at the chart. Let me switch over to the chart screen. On the chart, as you can see, today is Thursday, and I was able to place that iron condor at 60.40, 60.50 on the call side. 59.70, 59.60 on the put side, around a 0.2 delta. I received a $2.80 credit. I had to end up closing this trade for $3.85, right at that dollar. And I ended up doing a market order. I'll show you all that here in a minute. I got into the trade around 9:34, and I was exiting. I don't know if that was the exit time that I actually exited. I'm looking over here at the time that I actually closed the trade now. We'll be looking at, I'll share that with you also. I ended up having to do a market order because it was running again. It was running away from me. That market order, where's that market order right here? That market order was executed at this time on this candle right here. And I'm looking at this candle here. Is when that market order got me out. I was trying to get, I started trying to get out like right away because I was going to just try to make the 20 cents on the trade, my minimum, and I didn't get filled. It didn't drop enough to get me get me out for the 20 cents, and that definitely what happens in the live account. Trying to get out. You see it there, and it's no activity. It's not, nobody's trading, and then you end up doing a market order and taking, your max loss. That's what happens to me. And when I was when you're looking at it after the fact here, you're saying, wow, that was good up until that point. Then you see it turns back around here. I'm looking at it here later in the day, and that's what again I like looking and see, what could have happened and all. But I've done what I've done and all. But that's the chart there. Let's switch back over to the numbers and let you see the numbers, what actually I did. Excuse me. Switch back over here. And boom, you should be seeing the numbers now. This should be the XPX stuff like this. You might be seeing, yeah, this is all today too. I got into this trade. Let me see if I can slide this down just a little bit here. Right there. I set it for like 260 to get me in, and this happens in live. Sometimes they'll give you a better feel. It gave me a feel of 280, which is not crazy at all, and stuff. So I saw this thing was going against me. I can put this chart in all on the same screen, and as you can see, the time that I did this, you can see at 10:15, I actually I placed the trade to try to make up for, because I saw I was going to have a loss. So I said, okay, if I'm going to have a loss and this thing trending against me, it's better I can go ahead and buy a call and all that'll make me $1 or more and all to make myself whole with this particular product. That's the way I kind of look at things. That's just the way I am and all. So I ended up market ordering out $1.05 higher. Ended up buying a call as soon as I saw things were going bad. Again, you don't know, but based on my indicators and based on what I've been doing in the market and based on what I was looking at, I kind of expect the market to move at least enough to make me at least $1 if I got into the market right away. And you can see I got into the market before I actually got out of the market and all. Crazy way I do things and all. That's just the way I am. That's the way I do it and all. So I was in. This thing here was still going against me. I was still trying to get out. You can see it up here where I was canceling, and then finally I did a market order. You know, I was trying first. I was my normal 25% that I was trying to make on the trade would have been 210. Then I said, okay, I'll lose 20 cents on the trade. I went straight to the lose 20 cents a trade because again, I was watching it and I saw that it wasn't dropping down to my 280, my break even, or 20 cents to make on the trade at 260. So I said, okay, lose 20 cents. That's just a couple $1,000 based on the trade size and all. I said I can easily make that back, scalping that back and all. But then it wasn't feeling, so I canceled it and went 20 cents higher. Canceled and went 20 cents higher, and then I said, okay, it's going to be close to $1. I got to go ahead and do a market order. Boom, did a market order, and I'm out of the market. And then as soon as that market order filled, I'm looking at my order on my long call that I have. I can see that it's up, over $1, almost $2 and stuff, and I go ahead and execute that trade. I tried to do it at $2, and all, but I said, just get out. And all before this thing turns around, goes against you, don't know what's going to happen. And I got out at 12.50. I'm looking at these numbers here. My market order where I got out. This is the order where I got in. That's $1. That's $1.05 actually loss on that trade. And then my limit order on the long call that I got at 10.90, and then when I got out at 12.50, so I ended up making a dollar, or was that $1.40, $1.50 on that $1.40, $1.60 on that trade. So again, I made up for it and made a little bit extra, So that's what I did. And up here I was talking about where, I was my normal 25% to get out of the trade would have been $2.10. Then I saw the market going against me. I tried to get out at $3. It wasn't feeling. That moved it up to $3.25. Still wasn't feeling. $3.40, still wasn't feeling. Market order, get me out and all. And then as soon as I got out of that trade and all, and the time that I actually got out at 19 and all, I'll switch back over to the chart now, and we can take a quick look at that. Let me switch over to the chart where you can see what was happening on the chart at the time. You should be seeing that now. And all here on the chart. This is when I saw things were going bad against me. This was happening. And then on this candle right here, I thought maybe it would get me out, and it didn't get me out. That's when I started trying to make their adjustments and thinking, okay, it might work for me. And then as you can see about this time here on this candle is when I started trying to get out my $3, $3.20, and this thing, I actually didn't get. I got out of it again. There wasn't that much time. That's the whole thing. This is a 5-minute chart, I ended up getting out probably about here on this candle, because I remember on this candle here or this candle here, and I was in the long call about on this candle here also, on this candle here, because I got in my long call right away and was able to make a couple dollars on it. So that's the whole thing. You see this stuff, you see it like you can see where the market was kind of rallying, basing, and you expect it to rally on up in here to at least to pivot. And this is my resistance, my R1. I call it an H1 and all. And then I was expecting it to at least probably test that and all, because usually there's a lot of traders that are doing the same trade. So again, they'll try to defend it with their billions of dollars, that they have to force this thing back down and get out and do something crazy. But then, as you can see right now, the market is kind of selling out below the strike that I sold. And this trade may end up being okay if you was capable of actually holding it all day long, which I usually don't do. I usually don't take that type of risk on this particular trade. I won't be taking that type of risk on this particular trade. But let's go back and take just one quick look, and we'll go at the numbers over here because I want to do that, and I'll see where it's at. And we'll wrap this on up. Let me go back over to the trade tab. And you can still see this thing is still right. What I'm looking at is this right here. This here is that order right here to get me out and all. It's still locked in there, and it's still there, and it's about that time for me. I didn't do a bike ride. I had some other things I had to run around and do, and I came back in and trying to decide what I was going to do and all. But as you can see, this is one of these days where you're going to have to wait to the end of the day if this thing's going to work out, or it's going to end up being the mother of all losses. That's why for me, it's best to just go ahead and try to take a small loss and then do something to make that money back. If you do other credit spreads, or you do a loan debit spread, or you do a straight out directional trade, call or put, whatever it takes to get you out of the market. This is just what I do, just trying to give you an idea of what I see and what I do at times. And the other thing, that's why it gets also back to the point where you have to have, if you're going to do this trade, you need to, you do whatever you want to do. If I'm doing this trade, I have to be in an account where I got where I can day trade, and not being concerned about no pattern day trading crap, So I have to be in an account $25,000 or more in order to do this trade, and I won't be trading the number of contracts that you see here. 25,000, I might trade 5 contracts. That's about it. If I'm in an account that's just run anywhere from $25,000 to $30,000, I wouldn't trade no more than 5 contracts in that particular account with that money. And then, like you say, because again, you're going to need. And it'll be a margin account also. So you will still have the money enough to make the day trade scalps that you need to make in order to make any loss back that you may have. And that's just me and my plan that I'm looking at right now. And I think that's the way I may actually end up doing this once I start doing it. Which I really, that's another thing. I'm gonna make another little video explain, kind of show you some of the numbers and why I'm not that crazy about doing this trade unless I'm trading 5 or more contracts, because the money doesn't make sense to me. If I'm only trading 1 or 2 contracts, because you just don't make enough money. I'm a directional trader mainly, is what I like doing, or just buying stock and selling calls against them, or selling puts in order to get in my stock positions in my other accounts where I normally am a little bit more active at, and those trades make more than what I'll make on this trade if I'm only trading 10 or less contracts really. So that's why again I'll just take my time about looking at this trade and see how I'm going to be able to do it. And I would like to at least start off with 5 to 10 contracts doing this trade, if I'm going to do it at all. But that's what I see, and that's all I really wanted to share today. Hope this is being helpful to some. I kind of get it. I saw one guy saying, "Does any of this stuff make sense? And is it working for anybody?" Yes, this can work. But yes, I did try placing this trade, right off the back like I usually do. And the thing was, it was in a small account, and if it goes against you, what to do. That was my big question, and that's why I say, okay, just take your time. There's no need to rush, because when even with one contract, $1,000, 10 wide is $1,000, and you'll end up losing, $700, $800 on that one trade, and in a small account, that can be a pretty big hit, so that's why, again, it got me to the point where I got to do this where I got some money at, I can't do this. This is not a small account trade. I don't care what anybody say. This is not a small account trade, because there's other trades that you can do, and you can do this in a small account, but realize that you're only going to be making $50 or less. Bottom line, I need to look at the numbers and see what kind of money you're going to be making. And if you're doing something like that, there's other stocks and other things that are happening in the market where you can make that kind of money without the risk of what this trade here is. And I'll leave it at that. Let me just stop because I'll start rambling on. I do want to make another video, and I want to take a closer look at the numbers and see what they look like, trading 5 or less contracts and all the type of money that you'll make and all. And then what they've done studies out there, but they don't really. To me, it's hard for some of us to see the money. I see the money, and I realize for myself that I have to trade 5 or more contracts, bottom line. And then if I'm going to do that, I also need to be in an account where I can day trade. That's the other thing that I see. So that's where I'm at. And that's it. I keep rambling on. I keep repeating myself. But that's all I really want to share. Hope you guys having a great day. The Qs have been moving. The Qs are moving. And I end it with that. Have a good one. Bye. This is Right Side Trader. Yeah. My Qs are moving. Qs been moving.